This is Mylio's Getting Started webinar. Today, we're going to be focused specifically on downloading and installing the application. Joining me today for the webinar is Lori. Lori Rubin. She's going to be answering your questions. And Lori is a product evangelist with Mylio. She's a professional photographer that does just amazing, beautiful photography. And she's been a photo educator for a long, long time. I am Jace Figueroa. I'm the customer success lead at Mylio Photos. I'm an underwater photographer and a photo organization educator, and I've been in the media technology industry for longer than I care to admit. I'll be presenting for you today. All right, brief agenda. We're going to keep it very simple today and leave some time at the end for questions and answers. We are going to be talking about Mylio Photos installation setup. So we'll talk about how to create an account if you need one and download the software, how to install it in your computer, and how to go about doing that initial installation of the software. Today, we're going to be focused mostly on installing on a Mac because that's the system I have available. The Windows installation, I'll explain it. It's very, very simple. It's very similar. So you're not missing out in anything if you're a Windows user. We'll briefly go over mobile device installation. Is again, very simple, but we'll show it to you. And then we'll talk about resources where you can learn how to do more things. And we'll leave plenty of time at the end to answer any questions you might have. All right, so let's get started. First, I'd like to give you a brief overview of Mylio Photos. Completely new to the software and are perhaps even wondering if it's the right solution for you. I'm going to do a brief overview of what Mylio Photos is and how it can help you organize your photos. And then we'll proceed with the installation demonstration. So I'm going to switch here to the Mylio application. This is Mylio with my own personal library. So the photos that you're seeing are my own personal photos from real life. I have over 40,000 photos in my library spanning many, many years. And what you're looking at right now is what we call the calendar view in Mylio. The way Mylio displays your photos is that over here on the left side, on our left side panel, there's different views on how you can see your library. Right now, I'm in calendar view. And in calendar view, Mylio presents the photos based on when the photo was taken. It looks at the data on a photo, or it looks at the data that you corrected on a photo, because Mylio will help you correct the date on a photo. And it'll present that photo on a calendar view based on that date. So here you can see that I'm in recent years, all the way to 2023, but I can go back in time. And I've taken the time to not only import my digital photos into Mylio, but here starting in the late 90s, you can see that a lot of these photos are actually scans. There's my daughter being born in 1995, photos of me, my first wedding and my college years, my high school years. I can go back to like 6th grade graduation and my brother getting married, photos from the family when I was a little kid, and then photos of my family well before I was born. You know, there's my dad receiving awards from the military, and only photo I have of my grandma right there, quite a few years before I was born. I can go all the way back. I think one of the oldest photos I have is from 1944. There's my mom with 3 of her sisters and her grandma at the time. So this calendar view is a very good way to get a quick overview of your photos over a span of time. But it's also a good way to look at your photos for a specific date. So I can go here perhaps into 2016, look at a particular month like May, and look at a particular day like May 5th. And well, there's only one photo on that day, but Mylio will show me any photos that were taken on any particular day. So very easily I can go to a specific time and place. The other thing that the calendar view does that is very, very useful is this little colorful dots that you see everywhere. Those are called events. And an event is just that. It's something that is important in your life, like a wedding or a trip. And you can organize events at Mylio so they display on the calendar. And when I click on an event, so if I click here on Iceland 2016, it takes me to all the photos for that event. So again, in the calendar view, very, very easily, you can see photos very quickly. And if I click on a year here, you'll see that those events span different times and they show up in the correct dates and months, etc. So that is but one of the ways in which Mylio presents your photos when you import them into the system, the calendar view. We also have a view called the map view. And contrary to the calendar, in the calendar, we see photos based on when they were taken, right? In the map view, Mylio presents the photos based on where they were taken. So here I'm seeing an entire map of the world, and I zoom in any particular area. And as I zoom in, I start getting more and more thumbnails representing a detailed view or where photos have been taken. I live up here in the Pacific Northwest in the Seattle area. So obviously I take a lot of photos in this area. And the more I zoom in, the more specific these photos get. Like there's some photos that were taken from the Bainbridge Ferry, looking at the Seattle skyline. So very, very quickly, I can find photos based on the location, based on where a photo was taken, rather than when a photo was taken. Because we all remember things in different ways. So when did that photo happen? Where were we when we took that photo? Two different ways of finding photos. But the other important thing that is represented in our photos is the people that are important to us. And Mylio, of course, has a people view. The people view is represented with containers for all the photos that you have of a particular individual. So if I want to see all the photos of my son-in-law, Alex, right here, for example, I can go to that container, and Mylio has used face recognition to find every photo I have of my goofy son-in-law, Alex. He's a great fellow. Likewise, I can go to my daughter's photo. So I have a lot of people here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this little flag here, and I'm going to quickly scroll down to the letter M for Madeline. And there is the container for all my daughter's photos. Notice there's nearly 3,000 photos there. I didn't have to go and find all 3,000 of these photos. I just taught Mylio what my daughter looked like by manually face tagging a few photos. And Mylio then went and found photos from when she was a baby, a toddler, and all the way into adulthood. So very quickly, using the people view and the zoom to face feature, which is what you're seeing here, I can go, notice it zooms to the face right away. I can go and kind of relive my daughter from infancy all the way into the amazing young woman that she is today. There should be some photos from her wedding right here. There we go. So that is a very easy, quick way in which Mylio helps us find the photos that we want. So we found photos based on when they were taken, on where they were taken, and now with the people view, we're finding photos based on who is in the photo. The album view is just that. It's a place for you to create collections of your photos that often represent what? Like, for example, I have an album here of turtles. So all my turtle photos that I've taken all over the world are all in one album. I can find them very quickly and very easily. And Mylio makes creating these albums based on what? Super simple. And I'll show you how in just a second. But finally, there is the folder view. The folder view is a direct representation of how the photos are stored in your computer. So if I were to open up the Finder, I would find that the Mylio folder has a folder for each one of these folders that are represented on my folder view. I can also find that outside of Mylio in the folder. So I can go and find a photo without being in the Mylio application because we don't have a proprietary library. We keep everything open in the file system. And last but not least is the all photos view. I saved this one for last because it's what people are accustomed to the most. We spend a lot of time kind of scrolling through photos and hoping to find just the right photo. Well, Mylio makes finding photos even in the all photos view. If I go here, you'll see there's 42,888 photos. But we have something called quick filters. And by using quick filters, I can quickly find every photo that I want. For example, if I only wanted to find my underwater photos, I have a category for underwater. I can select that, and Mylio has quickly filtered out every photo except for my underwater photos. So now I'm only looking at 4,300 photos versus the 44,000 I was looking at before. And if I wanted to narrow that down even more and only show you my 4 and 5-star rated photos, now I'm only looking at 75 photos. I can select them all. I can say, Mylio, let's do a quick slideshow. And just like that, I got down from 40,000 photos to just a handful of photos that I can present to you and say, oh yeah, here's my underwater photos. You know, there's the manta ray picture from Bonaire, or the fireworm from Roatan, et cetera, et cetera. So very quickly I can find things. Mylio can do some pretty amazing things, like it can read, so it can find text that is embedded in your photos and find a photo of something. But it can also recognize not just faces, like I show you on the people view, it can recognize things. And that's what we call smart text. So the way I created that turtle album, for example, was by just going here in Mylio and saying, hey, Mylio, show me animals, show me reptile. Where are they? And let me see any turtle photos that I have. And when I click on that, Mylio goes finds not only turtles, but tortoises as well. So here's all the turtles that I have on my photo collection. And these are not things that I had to manually key tag. Mylio just recognized what it's in there. You know, we have a couple of cats. So if I go here to cats instead, and I put a filter for cats, there's all the cat photos that we have. My wife is constantly sending me pictures of the cats. So there's lots of them in here. So just a quick overview of what Mylio can do for you. And what's really great is that when you use the Mylio Photos Plus plan and you decide to connect all your devices together, that great library of photos that you have collected on one device then gets shared to your other devices. So everything that I did just here, I can do on my phone, no matter where I am, whether I have an internet connection or not, and be able to find those photos using the exact same tools on a mobile device. Really, really flexible, really great way to enjoy your photography, find those precious memories. So with that done, and having shown you the overview of what is Mylio Photos, I think most of you came here to learn how do I install it. So let's go to that first, right? Let's go to that next, rather. Downloading Mylio Photos. So Mylio Photos is both a service and a software. You need to have an application installed in your computer or the device that you want to use Mylio. How do you download the software? Well, you can simply just go to mylio.com and click the download now button. It'll look just like this. This was a picture taken directly from our website. And when you click that download button, the web page will recognize what system you're in. If you're on a Mac or if you're on a PC, they'll say, okay, here's the software for Mac, here's the software for PC. If you're on a mobile device, it'll point you to the appropriate app store, whether it's the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, and help you download the application for the specific device. You can also go to account.mylio.com and actually create a Mylio account. So if you're interested in just using Mylio Photos, which is the free version of our application, it's a standalone version. It'll work on one device. It won't connect with other devices. You can do that by just downloading the software, installing it, and starting to work on it. If you want to use Mylio Photos Plus, you're going to need an account. So you can go to account.mylio.com, enter your email address. That will help you create an account. And once you're in the account page in Mylio, you'll be able to actually download the software as well. So let's go through that process on another computer. I'm going to switch over to a different computer. I'm going to share the screen from a different computer, one that does not have a Mylio account installed. So it's a fresh, clean installation, and you can see the process. Oh, hold on. I have to allow screen sharing. Here we go. Okay, so now you can see my other screen. Let's move some things out of the way. So here I am on a browser window, in this case Safari, but any browser will work. I'm just going to go to account.mylio.com. I'm going to type that in, account.mylio.com. There it is. I hit enter. And the first thing that Mylio wants is my email address. And this is either the email address that you intend to use with your account, or if you've already created an account, then the email address you use to create that account. So I'm just going to put my email here. And I'm going to click the next button. And notice Mylio is telling me, or the website rather is telling me, hey, we sent you an email so that you can log into the website. We don't use passwords anymore. We have found a much easier, much more secure way of logging you into our account. It's called a login link. So you don't need to remember an account. You don't need to write it down. You don't need to reset it every time you forget it. You simply put in your email address and a login link is sent to you. So it's telling me to check my email. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to open my email, and there's the email that was sent to me saying, click here to log in. And when I click, I'm automatically taken to my account page. So now you can see that I'm in my account. There is my email address. It tells me the plan level. Of course, I'm an employee, so I have a specific plan, but you would see whether you're in Mylio Photos or Mylio Photos Plus. And then there's a download button. So that's what I'm going to use to download the application. There's download Mylio Photos for Mac. Notice that down here at the bottom, it also shows me links to download the application for the other platforms that we support. And Mylio runs on Windows, on Mac, on Android, and on iOS devices. So it doesn't matter what combination of devices you have. You can have that experience of having a combined library, knowing exactly where your photos are and having them accessible to you no matter what device you have with you. All right, so I'm going to click the download button. The download started. I can see the progress up here. And once that download is ready, I can just go to the downloads folder on my Mac, or if I was on a Windows computer, I would go to the downloads folder on my Windows computer, and they're going to downloads, and there's Mylio DNG. If you were on a Windows machine, it would be an MXIX installer. If you double click on that, a window pops up, and on the Mac, all we have to do is drag the Mylio application to the applications folder. That application gets copied to the applications folder, and then we can simply eject that DNG right here. We don't need it anymore. And I can now go and launch the Mylio application. I'm going to do it by searching for Mylio. There it is, Mylio. Double click, and I have just installed the application. The Mac OS is giving me some security warnings. Hey, you downloaded this from the internet. You sure you want to open? Oh, I'm very sure. I can't wait to use this application. And there is my Mylio application now running. Let's make that full screen so we can see it better. And the next step, all we have to do is just click the Let's Go button and actually log into my account. If you download the application and you haven't created an account, no big deal. When you click this button, it's still going to ask you for an email. If you have already created an account like I did, you just enter that account, jc@mylio.com. And when you click the continue button, if you don't have an account will be created for you and you'll receive a login link. If you do have an account, then you'll just click continue and you'll receive the login link. Notice it's telling me go to your email application again. So I'm going to go back to my email. There is the new email to log in to the app. I'm going to click that. And I get to a page that says launch Mylio Photos. When I click that, again, the Mac OS is asking me permission to open Mylio. I'm going to allow it. It goes right back to the application. And now I'm in. Mylio is completing the setup, but it's just as easy as that. And don't worry, you don't have to go through this process every time you use Mylio. You only do it once per device. So if you install Mylio on your computer, you go through this login process, and now you're in. Same with your phone, same with other computers. You only have to do it once. All right, so now that we are in the Mylio application, Mylio is going to take me to a quick little tour. It says, hey, this is where you can monitor the activity. Like if you want to know what's happening, for example, you did a big import and you want to see the status of that import, you click that activity monitor and it'll show you the progress. The add more media button is where you go to add images to your library. And it also shows you the dashboard, which is the one view I did not explain during my overview. And I did that intentionally because we're going to spend a little bit of time there now. So the dashboard is the place where you kind of manage your account. And now if I go to devices on my dashboard, for example, I can see that I have my MacBook Pro already installed. It gives me the ability to change settings for my computer there. Add other devices. So if I wanted to add an external drive to keep my photos protected, or if I wanted to add a cloud service so that my images were not only to my computer, but were also saved to a cloud storage system, I could do that. Remember, Mylio by itself is not a cloud service. We do not touch your photos or put them anywhere. We simply help you manage them, but you can choose to put third-party cloud services as part of your device library, as part of the devices that have access for your photos. So you can say, I want OneDrive or Google Drive or Backblaze to be a repository for my photos so that they're protected someplace other than my computer. And then I want to have 2 local copies and 2 external drives of all my photos. And Mylio will do that automatically. Every photo that you take, every photo that you import into Mylio will go to all those places and get protected. All right, so that is, for the most part, what I wanted to share when it comes to installing and downloading Mylio Photos. I'm going to go back to my main screen here and go to a couple more slides, and then we'll take some questions. So if I download for a Mac, I'll go to my downloads folder and I drag the application into my applications folder. Windows, here's the installer for Windows, again, in the downloads on my PC. And when I click that, I'll get an installation prompt. I just follow those prompts and Mylio will be installed. And it'll look just the same on either device, Mac OS, Windows OS, or a mobile device. You just click the Let's Go button. That will give you the opportunity to enter your email address so that you can access an account you already created or create a new account automatically. When you hit continue, you'll go to your email application to click that login link, no password necessary, and then you'll be in Mylio. So that is the installation process. We saw this. I want to quickly give you an overview of other resources that we have, other places where you can install or get more information. But before that, one of the things that I promised on the demo was that we were going to install a mobile device. So let me quickly go back to my computer here. And I'm going to go to that dashboard that I mentioned a second ago. And notice that I already have a lot of devices on my account. I am on the Mylio Photos Plus plan, which lets me connect multiple devices. I don't have to work on just the one device like on the free account. So you'll notice that I have this laptop that I'm working on. I have my Mac Studio, which is a computer I have at home. I also have an iPad, 2 phones. One is an Android, one is an iPhone. And I have a number of drives or cloud devices that my photos are being saved to. I'm going to go ahead and add another phone just so that you see that the experience of installing on the phone is just as easy as doing it on the computer. So I'm going to quickly share. Oh, I guess I'm not. Yes, I am. I'm going to quickly share my screen from my phone here. It just takes a second. There it is. Let's go grab it, put it on there, bring it up here so you guys can see it. Oh, it's not letting me move that screen. Well, let's change things up again. I'm sorry, I got to share a different screen so that you can see my phone. Bear with me. Okay. Lori, can you guys see that now?
I see screen mirroring and your folders.
Yeah, so that screen mirroring is my phone. There's my phone being shared. And really all you do is you go to the App Store and you search for Mylio. So if I do that, there's Mylio Photos right there. I'm just going to tap on it and it takes me to that application. Normally you would get a little download button here. I already installed the application ahead of time, so we don't have to wait for the download. But really all I have to do is go to open and you see the same screen that we saw on the computer is right here on the phone. If I have the Let's Go button, it'll ask me to enter that email address. And once I do, I'll receive an email, click on that email, and my phone will be added to my account. This is how you can add more devices to your account, and how you install on a mobile device. Pretty easy, pretty simple. And just to make things even much more easily accessible, you can always go to your dashboard and click on the devices panel. And if you click this add button, it gives you a list of all the different device types that you can add. And if you click, for example, on phone, it'll give you instructions and even a QR code that you can point your phone to that QR code and it'll take you right to the App Store where you need to download the application. So really super, super easy. All right, so back to resources and where can you get more information? Well, we have lots and lots of resources. We have the in-app help menu. So if you're already working in the app and you go up here to this little question mark, lots of information here. You can click learn more about Mylio Photos, which will take you to the different plans and explain the difference between the free product, Mylio Photos, and our subscription-based product, Mylio Photos Plus. The how-to guide will open up our manual. So if I click on that, a browser window will be open and it'll take me, I don't know why it's not letting me move windows to another screen. Oh, I know why, because I'm in full screen. Let's change that. It's funny the little things that we get accustomed to do in one environment, and when we change environments, we no longer know how to do it. So here's the manual, manual.mylio.com. Notice that it's a very comprehensive manual. You can download it as a PDF file, but you can also just explore the different chapters. Everything that we discussed today on how to install Mylio is detailed in the installation chapter. You can go and find the specific OS or the specific device that you want to install the Mylio application on, and all the instructions are there. Other resources, aside from the help menu in the app and the product manual, where you find the quick start guide, is our community. So you can go to community.mylio.com. This is a great place for you to meet other people that are using Mylio Photos to explore. You're welcome to join. It's not required that you join. You can just click the explore button. And once you do, you'll get access to just a plethora of information. There's quick start videos. There is the recordings for webinars such as this one. There are photo tutorials. There is an entire video course on Mylio fundamentals that you can watch for free. There's a scanning course that you can purchase as well. We do a coffee break every week. So the schedule for all our upcoming coffee breaks, which is like, think of it as a mini webinar, but everybody's cameras are on and we can talk to each other and you can ask questions. Every week we discuss a different theme. And those, of course, also get recorded. So you can go and watch recordings of any kind of subject that you wanted to learn more about. Lots and lots of information. And you can also join different groups within the community. So if you're really into bird photography, there's a bird photography group where people exchange photos and they kind of do critiquing and commenting and help each other out. I have an underwater photo group where I post photos and other people post their underwater photos. Lots and lots of community to be found in the community group. It's really a great resource. And again, completely free. You can join and use it as you please. We also have the support forum at forum.mylio.com. This is a user group that is discussion driven. So it's not as visually appealing as the community, but for those of you that are used to the old style reading boards where you go and ask questions, this is really also a great resource. A lot of people coming here and they post their tips and tricks, for example. There's Mylio users from all over the world in this support forum. And oftentimes you also see Mylio employees will join the conversation, comment. Our product managers here all the time. Our lead developer is here all the time. I'm here all the time answering questions. So again, another great resource. And of course, our support site and our FAQ can be found easily on our webpage, mylio.com/FAQ and support.mylio.com are other resources. That's where you can send support tickets from support.mylio.com. You can also request direct help from the support team from that help menu on the application right here. You just click contact Mylio support and it'll take you to a web form that you can fill out and say, help, help. I don't know what I'm doing. JC was going too fast. So all of this is available to you. All right. And with that, we are at the 35-minute mark. So let's go ahead and take some questions. Is there any pending questions that we need to address?
No questions. You must have explained it so well that
I
all
would
the
love
questions
to
have been
think
answered.
that's the case, but maybe I just put everybody to sleep instead.
No, I don't think so. I did put a bunch of links for folks as JC was explaining where to find more, information. So that's in the chat. And I'll also include this when we go to record and post the video. I'll put the links in the description there as well.
All right.
Any questions?
Well, if you have any questions, now is the time to ask. Otherwise, my wife's waiting to go shopping with me. So please ask me some questions. They'll save me some money.
Okay.
All right. Well, we can get more help. So don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help you. We want everyone to be able to enjoy their photos and find exactly that photo that you're looking for. There's the old phrase of a photo is worth 1,000 words. And I very much believe in that. You can tell a story from a photo much better than you can tell it by just talking. But that photo is only worth 1,000 words if you can find that photo. And with Mylio Photos, you can. So thanks, everybody. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend and talk to you soon.
Thanks, JC. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.